Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Now, here comes another pawsome guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life show. Our next guest is dedicating her life to cats with special needs. She operates a cage-free cat sanctuary that welcomes felines from all over the world. Simply put, she's Meovelous. Please welcome to our show the development director of Tabby's Place. It's located in, how do you pronounce that, Ringo's?
Ringo's, just like the Beetle.
Okay. Yeah, man, just like the Beetle.
He's another one.
Yeah, she's at Tabby's Place, located in Ringo's, New Jersey. The one and only Angela Hartley. Angela, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me, Arden. I am delighted to speak with you.
So for all of you with beagle ears, and you might be hearing a and we need to address the cat, not the elephant in the room. First off, Angela, what's going on at your office at Tabby's Place? Who do you have?
Well, what you hear, it's not a white noise machine. The friendly soundtrack that you hear is a gentleman named Glenn, Glenn is in many ways an emblematic Tabby's Place cat. He came to us making this remarkable sort of perpetual purring sound. And it turns out the reason for that is that he has a partially paralyzed larynx. Yes, he was found on the streets, and it's something that it's very delicate, but we specialize in special needs cats. So he immediately became part of our family. And Tabby's Place is a place where he'll receive all the care he needs to thrive.
I think that's pretty cool.
He's a bit of a curmudgeon, which is why he's in my office. I've got just 3 cats in my office as opposed to one of our suites where he'd have maybe 15 neighbors to tangle with. So that's Glenn that you hear, who will be humming us along throughout our conversation.
Glenn, you had me at Hey, Tabby's Place. I invited you on the show because you've been around a while, and I believe you have helped with your team find homes and save lives for more than 4,000 cats. Is that right?
We are approaching 4,000 cats.
Okay.
Yes. So October, we will have been doing this for 19 years. Thank you so much. And we are a cage-free sanctuary for cats from hopeless situations. So our residents tend to be the cats who really have nowhere else to turn, whether
it's going from hopeless to hope. So some of these cats have some physical impairments. Some of them have some mental development issues. Go for it. Give me some examples.
You name it, we've seen it pretty much. Yeah, it's they're the most vulnerable are really the cats that our heart beats for. So whether they're diabetic cats, we always have a cadre of paraplegic cats. Right now, I believe we have 7 or 8 of those. We have cats with cancer, cats that range in age from a few days to, I believe, right now 18 years. Cats with conditions that are so unusual, we've had to reach out to vets around the country to understand.
Wow.
And cats from literally all around the world.
Yeah, I'm thinking you've got name some countries or cities, because we've got some Globetrotters tuning into our show that goes all over.
We have taken cats from, I believe, 3 continents and counting, actually 3 or 4. So including Okinawa, Beirut, Turkey, and of course, lovely New Jersey and all around.
New Jersey, the Garden State, right?
Garden State, yes, which Ringo's is not what you might picture for New Jersey. It's we are very, very rural. It feels like a little bit of Iowa in the corner of New Jersey.
Really? What's the nearest? How far away?
Probably about 40 minutes from Princeton, maybe an hour each from Philly and New York.
Oh, that's kind of a nice little spot to be in. You know,
Yes.
You said something that I really want to emphasize. You say you take care of the most vulnerable. You said the most vulnerable is the cat for whom our hearts beat for.
That's
I
right.
mean, you're going from hopeless to hope, aren't you?
We are. That's what our founder had in mind from the moment he first dreamed of Tabby's Place, that we would take those cats who the rest of the world kind of walks by and doesn't see. And not only would we love them and would we cherish them in an environment that is incredibly joyful and cage-free, but we'd also lift them up and celebrate them and help people to see the beauty of their lives. So a lot of what we do is honestly just turn the spotlight onto these cats. And sure enough, there's so many compassionate hearts in this world that just fall in love with them. So they're a magnet.
Well, give us the history tour. Who is your founder, and tell us a little bit about him.
Jonathan Rosenberg is our founder and executive director. He's down the hall right now as I speak. He's still
hey, John.
So John was someone who was never a cat person.
He was even better.
He would not even close. He was always a dog guy. And as he puts it, he always said cats were for girls. So when he was the first chief technical officer at CNET during the crest of the internet boom. And during that time got married to Sharon, who was very much a cat lover, but they did not have cats. So one day John came home from CNET one day, and on his front porch, he sees 10 or 12 dishes. One has bologna, one has tuna, one has milk. And over in the corner, he sees this little brown cat staring at him. He thinks this is not good. So he goes into Sharon, what are you doing? That cat looks fine. That cat is not starving. What do you do?
Yeah.
I don't want you to do this anymore. Sharon says, okay, I'm sorry. John comes home the next day, not a single dish on the porch. Great. She listened. No sign of the cat. Excellent. Lets himself in the house. The cat's on his chair. And that cat turned out to be Tabby, the namesake of Tabby's Place.
Oh.
So 14 or 15 years later, Tabby became terminally ill with squamous cell carcinoma. And it so rocked Jonathan's world because Tabby had so changed his life and filled his life with joy that he resolved that the next chapter of his life was going to be spent thanking Tabby by creating a world where cats like him would be cherished.
Which is a living proof. Once again, all you listeners, real men love cats.
It's the truth. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, what a story. What kind of cat, what kind of markings did Tabby have?
Tabby was just your basic brown tabby, arguably one of the handsomest who ever lived, but he was also FIV positive, so he was a special needs cat, and just absolutely beloved by John and Sharon, and the little cat who changed the world.
Well, I'm laughing because you have attracted the attention, and so is the treat jar of one of my cats. For all you YouTube listeners, here he comes.
Outstanding.
We now have Rusty the performer. Come here, Rusty. Come over here. He goes, there's a bigger jar right here. All right. And Rusty, like many of your cats, he was found in a dumpster in Georgia full of fleas and rescued, and he's now 3 years old, and he's a sweetie pie. So, I mean, I know you're helping cats, but don't cats do a body good? Oh, here comes Jealous. Here comes Casey. Jeez. Hey, guys.
That is
a safety cat, Casey. He goes, what's up? I think you've attracted the cats in my office because they usually just sit politely during the recording, but both of them are all tuned in to your energy.
We're vibing with each other, yeah.
How do cats do our bodies good?
Oh my goodness, I wouldn't even know where to start. But in the physical and the metaphysical ways, I would say, not only do they comfort us, do they slow down our breathing, do they restore our joy and our hope. But something we say all the time at Tabby's Place is that we want to be more like them when we grow up, because we are surrounded by cats who have been dealt the toughest cards you can imagine, and not a single one of them feels sorry for himself. They tackle each day with just this sense of wonder that they get to be alive again, and they love just being here and being loved, and we want to be more like them because they give us hope, and they remind us what a miracle it is just to be here, just to get to be invited to the party at all. So they keep us going in more ways than I think there are even words to describe.
I say amen, sister. We're speaking with Angela Hartley. She is with Tabby's Place. It's in New Jersey. What's the website?
It is www.tabbysplace.org, and that's TABBYSPLACE.org.
So, Pet Pals, we're going to talk more with Angela after we come back from this break, and we're going to find out how she landed at Tabby's Place. So you all know the drill. You need to, like Glenn is doing, you need to sit and purr. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm talking with Angela Hartley of Tabby's Place. It's in Ringo's, New Jersey. And you had a little career path before Tabby's Pace. You want to share with that? And how did you get from that to this?
My pleasure. Well, the Cliff's Notes version I often say is that God had a very good sense of humor.
He or she does.
Yes, exactly. So out of college, I felt called to go to seminary. With a view towards, I always loved writing, and I loved counseling and encouraging people. So I had a view towards becoming either a pastor or a chaplain.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in upstate New York.
Okay.
About an hour north of the city. Yeah. Okay. And so went to Princeton Seminary. That was my trajectory. I was going to do the chaplaincy route, maybe academia. For a year out of seminary, did a youth pastor gig, and then thought, I think I'm going to head back to academia and maybe do the professor or chaplain route. So I had the thought, okay, well, during that year, I need a job where I can do some good in the world, but, mostly I'll just be putting together my PhD applications and getting ready for my next chapter. And lo and behold, the place where I had adopted my own first cat out of college was hiring essentially a secretarial role.
Okay.
And I thought, this is perfect. This is great. I love this place. This place is quirky and loving and strange.
What is it called? I'm sorry.
It was called Tabby's Place.
Oh, it was
yes.
The same. Okay.
All right. And I thought, this will be perfect for a year. Just right. So got the job. Jonathan, our founder, asked me some lovely hard questions like, why should we, I believe his words were, why should I hire a defrocked priest to be my...
Oh, snap.
Well, it was never really frocked in the first place, first of all.
What the frock? Come on.
No frock.
Okay, no
I said,
frock.
But honestly, I said, I love this place. And I see this place as sort of a living parable almost of the power of love.
It is.
So he took a chance on me. And about 6 months into my planned 1 year stay, I knew I was in trouble because I thought, I don't think I could ever leave this place. This is exactly where I want to be. And if ever I had a sense of calling, I can't imagine a place that feels more sacred and more loving and a community of love like I've never experienced in my life for two species, because that's one of
Yes, it is. It's the 2, 3, and 4-leggers.
It's one of the best kept secrets of Tabby's Place is, yes, we are a sanctuary for cats, but we are every inch as much a sanctuary for human beings. These are the kindest, most selfless people you will ever meet in your life. We have a wonderful staff, but also over 200 active volunteers.
Nice.
And it's if you want to believe in the power of love and of tenderness to change this world, hang out at Tabby's Place. So,
well, that is a pretty good path you took. I mean, I like what you did. You went with your heart, and
I did. Well, and then Jonathan called me. The development director at the time was moving on, so Jonathan, after a year, called me into his office and said, "Listen, how do you feel about being the development director?"
Okay. Did you?
And I gave a very stupid answer, which I said, "John, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a really bad idea on your part." And he said, famous last words, "Well, Angela, this is my first cat sanctuary, so why don't we learn together?"
What a great guy. Yeah, good.
15 years later, he hasn't been it has panned out.
So what are some things people can do to help, whether they live near Ringgoes, New Jersey, or live other parts? What can they do to help Tabby's Place?
Yes. Well, in one way or another, they can welcome one of our cats into their lives as their own. And we understand that most people are not in a position to do that as an adopter, if you don't live here or if you have a full house. But one of the best ways that you can do that, especially with cats who may never get adopted, like some of our special needs cats, would be to become their sponsor, which is a way of
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And if you donate to help us fund their medical care, every month we'll send you updates and photos on your cat. So it's a way that you really become part of the family here, and you have a cat that's your cat, even if you may never step foot in Ringgoes, New Jersey. That's a significant way to help. Another would be if you are blessed to live close to Ringgoes, we'd love to have you as a volunteer. Join our family, join our community of love here. It's we will love you with all of our hearts.
You say it's a cage-free sanctuary. So I see you in your office. For the folks with YouTube, you can see Angela. But what do you mean by that? And these cats have special needs. So I know you know how to do feline enrichment.
We do. And I should just clarify, probably about 40% of our cats have special needs, but
Okay.
the majority of our cats just ran out of time in other situations. So,
Okay.
and most of our cats' special needs or otherwise do go on to get adopted. So we certainly welcome that as well. But yes, so we are cage free. Most of our cats live in what we call suites, which are large.
Sweet. Sweets. Okay.
And
Sorry,
they are
it's radio.
with ramps and cubbies and designed to delight their senses. Enormous amounts of vertical space.
Good.
Each suite leads, or almost all of the suites lead to outdoor areas we call solaria, where the cats can be in the sunshine in a safe way all day.
So it's like a catio.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly the concept. Again, there's something so satisfying about the fact that these are the cats that came from the saddest and scariest circumstances, and now they have a life of sunshine.
Well, let's dive into one of those. I understand you have a special cat, a Siamese named Houston. Can you tell us what happened with Houston and where Houston is now?
Yes. So Houston came to us. Houston had been in a hoarding situation. He was only a few pounds and he looked like a kitten, but he was actually full grown.
Oh, no.
He was born with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is it's a condition in which there is excess cerebral spinal fluid on the brain.
Let's keep it easy. Water on the brain.
Water on the brain. You got
Fluids on the brain.
Which causes excess pressure on the brain.
Yes.
And can become. In his case, his prognosis was quite grave by the time he came to us.
Oh, wow.
He was the bravest little boy, Arden. He would still use the litter box as best he could. He wobbled like he had a few.
He must have been having like major migraines and losing motor signals. That brain is saying can't get to the feet, right?
Tumbled over as he tried to walk, couldn't groom himself, although he gave it his all. So by the time he came to us, his beautiful cinnamon-colored coat was all matted. And yet, when we bathed him and brushed him, he purred and rolled in our arms like he had gone to heaven. He was the gentlest soul you could ever imagine. And we, thanks to our donors, were able to arrange for him to see a world-class neurologist who devised a customized treatment plan. Every cat that comes to Tabby's place, we make them a solemn promise, which is you will always get what you need to thrive, regardless of cost. So Houston.
So help me, Pa.
Exactly. And Houston was no different. So he went to this specialty center, and sure enough, he was stabilized, and we moved him into our community room, which is a room where most of our staff have their office space. If you want to get bombarded with love all day, it's the place to be.
Nice.
And he had just the happiest summer of his life living there. And then the miracle that we would barely have dared to dream of happened. A woman came in looking specifically to adopt a special needs cat. And in conversation with her, we learned that she works with children who have hydrocephalus.
Oh, nice. There's something magical happening.
Right?
Come on, there's something in the air.
You can't make this up. And sure enough, she fell in love with Houston and vice versa. And she adopted him.
Oh my God.
And I wish I could say that they lived happily ever after, but there is a sad coda, which is that actually just a couple of weeks ago, Houston did pass away.
But he passed away in a home of love.
That's right. And what he could have been, shivering in that hoarding situation in his final days, and instead he was loved by so many people. He didn't know what to do with it. But
well, I appreciate you sharing that story,
yeah.
Angela. We have about a minute left. So what kind of person makes a good adoptee of a special needs cat? What are you looking for?
The main thing would be someone who is courageous, I would say.
Okay.
Who loves in a courageous way, because it doesn't take any special gifts or any special skills to care for a special needs cat. What it takes is a willingness to learn and a willingness to put your heart out there in a way that that it may be broken, but that it's worth it, because your heart is going to grow like you can't even imagine. So that we look for that level of devotion and bravery.
And one more time, tell people how they can find you.
Yes. Please visit us on the web at www.tabbysplace.org. That's TABBYSPLACE.org. Wow.
I've checked her site out, ladies and gents, and they are doing major good. You can make monetary donations. You can volunteer. You can, adopt a kind of, what do you call that? You're sort of sponsoring a cat, I guess, right?
Yes.
Is that the term?
Virtual adoption sponsorship. Yep.
All right. So everybody, what a great show we've had. First up, we've had Janice Cobb from Save My Pet ID Tag, and now Angela Hartley from the Tabby's Place in New Jersey. And, I also want to give a special shout out to our sponsor. That is Tevra, Tevra. They make a lot of great pet products. In fact, you can score a 20% discount. Just go to tevrapet.com and enter the code ARDEN20 at checkout. Hey, Pet Pals, I also thank you for tuning in and all the stations airing our show coast to coast. Big favor. Please subscribe right now to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Arden Moore. Keep it easy. And you can subscribe for free to this show, fourleggedlife.com. Thank you all. So until next time, this is Arden Moore saying to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there, paws up! Paws up, Pet Pals. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel. I want to keep providing you with great guests, special first aid tips, and yes, more videos of these guys. See you next time. Paws up!